Hello, hello, hello. I am gonna say, I wanted to do this in a very calm, collected manner. I'm gonna try and do that. I am a little nervous. Music needs to be turned down, doesn't it? Yep, okay, that's gone down. Sorry about that. Oh, hello, hope you all can see me. Thank you. Trying to calm down. This is not gonna be easy, let's just say that. So there's multiple reasons why I'm doing this. Originally I was gonna do this as a video essay, but I don't have the confidence. I tried to make a video today, an actual video with, you know, you would see me, not my face. I don't know how anyone does it in front of a camera. Anyway, welcome everyone. This will be a nice little discussion. We'll discuss discourses and things that are going on both inside the community, people outside and whatnot. The reason I'm bringing this up outside of that is I've been doing content aimed more hot water. I don't have time to make a hot chocolate, so hot water it is. Yeah, I'm taking deep breaths, thank you. But the reason I'm doing this outside of everything else, I mean, I started off doing mostly age play content. I know that. I originally didn't know too much of the difference, really. And then I started branching out. I tried a couple of age regression videos. They weren't great. They were okay for my first, I guess, maybe. But yeah, anyway. Recently, comment section in the ones I've done and other things has been, I wouldn't say triggering, just kind of stress inducing, and some of the things that have been said have been pretty vile, so I'm doing it for that reason as well. Anyway, with that said, let's begin. So, as the practices in the community of age play and age array start to get more recognition, more visibility, especially in the world of the internet and social media, something is starting to occur between the two, something becoming very apparent. One thing that I think people who do the same stuff as me, or content creators as well, I'm one of many who have kind of seen the sort of stuff that's coming out. You can also see it on social media. It's not spoken about too much, to be honest, in my opinion. And the concern is the discourses that are coming out are very concerning. The misinformation and the outright vile nature of some of them. And the worrying thing is these are kind of coming outside of the communities they are formed in and coming into the general consensus or general public somewhat. So yeah, I will state though, this isn't saying any community is bad. That's not the intention. This is a discussion. This is what it was going to be, a discussion. Don't want to talk to you guys. I will talk with you. I think that sounds a bit better. Try and get the idea across that way. So I invite anyone, regardless what you think on these topics, keep an open mind. Let's have a nice discussion. We'll keep it nice and civil. If you feel like this is a topic you're going to get very emotionally invested in, and you can't, have a nice civil debate, you might just want to sit down, not comment, not, type in chat. As you probably could have guessed, there is going to be a discussion of sexual kink terminology. So if that's not your thing, there's your warning. I'm sorry, my camera is inverted. I'm very confused why it's inverted, but hey. So, now while they are 100% separate, doesn't have to be discussed, age array and age play are 100% separate, right? Something's starting to emerge from them, something that's becoming more prevalent, probably as they start to become more and more visible. And that's the conflict between the two. There's a difference. There's a separation and there's a conflict. And while some people have their personal objections, they think one or the other's, it's not their thing, they dislike it, others might find disgust towards it, but that's about it. In extreme cases, oh boy, even in not just extreme cases, in a lot of cases, the most extreme version, unfortunately, going down to recently, there was a thing it was on Twitter and other places, there was a group that intentionally, not even trying to hide it, tried to actively dox anyone involved with age play, ABDL, anything of that sort. So there has been some real, So let's go into the main thing that needs to be said. The main thing. So that they both revolve around the subject. Right. Let's discuss one thing and one thing to get this clear and out the way, because it needs to be said. Regression. While in the early days of psychology, back to Freud, was discovered as a coping mechanism, as a mechanism that is put in place to protect the ego. And while regression can be that, it depends where you end the nuance of regression. What I mean by that is people, without realizing, from a psychological perspective, you actually regress daily without realizing it. People tend to think of childish themes or childish subjects. It's not the case at all. Let's say you bit your fingernails as a child and you start doing that as an adult. That is, in a sense, a form of reversing. You could say it's just having a habit that you've kept. Obviously, whatnot. So it can go way, way, way beyond what most people think. You can look this up. I would recommend, one interesting way of looking at it from is the transactional analysis with the child ego state. You can see why the two were kind of, It's a phenomena. In simple terms, outside of the psychobabble, it is a phenomena. Regression isn't just what most people think. It is reverting back to an early state. Whether you want to consider the behaviors of that state, in psychology I tend to, but yeah, I'll say thank you. I love this skirt. It's a phenomena. While both communities are undoubtedly the most dominant with the theme, they don't own it. No community, no person owns regression. That needs to be stated outright. Trying to say, and here's another thing that needs to be said. Regression is, in a simple sense, in the best way to explain it, it's spectrumy. And what I mean by that is, spectrum's the easiest way to say it. It's subjective. It's going to be different for others. Some people will do it voluntarily. Some people have involuntarily. Others are coping. But you also get other forms of regression. When someone has a flashback and they're brought back to a previous time, that's still regressing. It's not always positive. Yeah, you bring up a good point. Even someone engaging in watching a childish cartoon, it could be regression, but this is where you can kind of debate what you count and what you don't. I would say you could even bring up, anyone who says it's weird, that's fair dues, have your own personal objections, but how many grown adults have 10,000 plushies in their room, is one thing. Also, just the act of, the very thing that kind of companies has capitalized on, the notion of nostalgia, engaging in something you used to as a child, whether that be a piece of media, that is also a form of regressing when you think about it. So, and when it's spectrumy, you've got different levels. People can regress so hard their awareness won't be there. It's a mental state at the end of the day. And you can go to a point where your mental state is in a completely different set and your awareness is just gone. There's going to be halfways. There's going to be people who don't go that deep. It isn't set in stone, nor is it universal. And you can be both. You can engage in age regression, and you can engage in the other one as well. Categories and boxes make the world seem too static. It's not the case. Let's see, as someone who age regression is having talk about logical aspects without hating or shaming it so amazingly, I sincerely thank you. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad. I hope you all enjoy this conversation. Also, I don't want to talk at you guys, so I will try and. I did take my drugs, so I should be able to see today. My eyes are a bit. But yeah, so there's the nuance of regression, right? It's not in any form. It can come in different forms. I think the best analogy I can think of is the animal one. What I mean by that is, what does it mean if someone regresses for fun or just to pass time? See, that would be voluntarily. That would be voluntary. People would say you're acting, or you're emulating, or you're trying to regress, but because it's not, some people might try and tell you it's not actual regression because it didn't come out of nowhere. It's not the case. You can regress for fun, just like someone can take on any behavior for fun. It doesn't always act. Sometimes the very notion of acting can turn into reality, believe it or not. As a voice actor, the amount of times I've sat here with the mic, I have just read a script. I mostly do blind readings. I will sit there, I'll read it, and I'll just fall into the character just by smiling, feeling happy. Simple happens. Personally, I never grew up with a stable mother, so I had to grow up really fast. That's the reason why I do it. Yeah, that's normally the reason why most people do it. It can be. It's not as heinous as people think it out to be. I think if someone was to sit a lot of people down, not everyone, but everyone who makes these cringe compilations, and is it odd? Yeah, it is odd a tiny bit. Just because we're not used to it as a society, yada yada yada. Things that fall outside the norm, you know what they're like. But it's having that nurture, having someone take care. It's returning to an earlier time. There's nothing heinous about that. You're not hurting anyone or you're stabbing anyone. I think the only time the subject should be an issue is when you're engaging in it so much that it's unhealthy. Just when it's not in moderation, when it's like taking escapism to a whole new level, and also tell me if the music gets a bit, I'm not listening to music. I don't have headphones in, otherwise my ears will just get crushed by my glasses because I bought thick frames. But the best analogy I can think of to explain this better is animal roleplay. So someone engaging in animal roleplay automatically mean they're doing pet play? Does it mean they're doing pet regression? Or does it mean they're a furry or a Therian? Not necessarily. All of them have a similar theme, whatnot, but they're not all the same. It's down to identity and it's down to where you fit yourself, And no one can tell someone who engages in pet play, oh, that's not how this is done, because we do it this way. This would be like someone who does, let's say, ink art, telling the world, oh no, you have to draw it this way. It's not how it works. Don't ever let a community or a group of people try and gatekeep what you can and can't do when you're not doing any harm to anyone, I do age regression, age play, pet. Hey yo, I've done everything except pet regression, I believe. I might have, I'm not sure, but hey. I actually do, longest I've known is I know someone who has managed to unintentionally regress for a month straight. I don't know how they did that, nor did they. It wasn't a stressful time, they just managed to do it. If you're happy, healthy, there you go. That should be it. If you're happy, healthy, it's not a big issue. Now, to break the other notion is people try and say, oh, it belongs to one or the other. Well, if it, let's say it did, let's try and go down the logic that it only belongs to one community, let's say age regression, well, you regress before knowing about the community, didn't you? Well, you probably have, and people have, so can't be the case. Now we're going to go on to age play. We're going to age play, we're going to age rate. I'm going to explore the criticisms, going to explore the issues that are coming up, and the dangerous little misinformation that is coming up in these discourses, because there is some. And it's very unfortunate that these are the case. Also, I don't think I need to state it, but this isn't a versus as much as the thumbnail said. It's not a one is better, one is bad. I've practiced both. I can't practice either nowadays because of mental health, but I also do content aimed at both. I try to cater to both communities, and it's interesting. It is interesting. Exactly, a whole month I was mind blown. Involuntary regress during quantum physics lecture. I don't understand a single thing. Oh no. I think societies are very judgmental of people who do something that's really down-putting to be made fun. Yeah, it kind of falls down into herd mentality. It's unfortunate. I think we're slowly, you could argue with, and I don't know, maybe it's just my perception. I have very unconventional social circles, but I feel like as we're living in societies that are very postmodern and kind of coming in to embrace individuality, and we're kind of having movements which are kind of moving past sticking things into strict categories, trying to break past and making more labels and just realize that identity is not static. That's a completely different topic, but yeah, I feel like that would help somewhat. But then that's just my perception, and my perception is limited because I have a very limited social circle. I hang out with people I can tolerate to a certain degree. I won't even try, but yeah. So we're going to go into age play. I will bring up T. I will bring Kalia Coxon. I will bring up that question in a minute, actually. So yes. So Ryan. So we're going to move to age play. Now, it needs to be stated, age play is not inherently sexual. While it can be, it is not inherently sexual. I always, in my early times of being a content creator, I was always kind of confused what differentiated age regression from age play. I thought as long as it was wholesome and not sexual, it would be age. It could be, age regression. Hello, Angie. Not the case. As I later discovered, people helped educate me that it's, as long as there's no power dynamic-ish there's no real, most of people's boundaries was it can't be romantic, and that was okay, yeah, I understand that. I started to understand the logic. age play is not inherently sexual. And now we have to discuss what I call the the grey area of kink. You see, there's an issue. A lot of things are kinky, or they're done by, or they have kinky, they have links to kinky nature, or they are kinky nature. But some of these things, although they classify and fall under that category, they aren't actually that. It's a weird. There are some which could literally just be a lifestyle. They aren't sexual. Maybe some have power outside of power dynamics as well. It's interesting. You could even take pet play. Some of it isn't. There's so much interesting. It's not as straightforward as people think. Is there going to be sexual things around it? Yeah, there will be, because kinky communities are very embracing of that stuff. But age play is not inherently sexual in any way or form. Do you indulge in any topics in your content? I used to. I can't do it these days that much. I used to, somewhat. It's a struggle these days. That's because of mental health. When I was age, I thought both was the same because I got information off Wattpad. Oh, yikes. We're going to mention that issue in a minute. It's not Bill Cipher, but, Thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I've got a ring as well somewhere, but I haven't got it on me at the moment. Oh, takes hand to hold. Let's go. Anyway, we're gonna go down a really interesting topic now, and everyone get ready for this. This is gonna be pretty heavy. So I'm gonna ask you a certain question. Actually, no, we'll do that last. We'll do this last. We'll do the last thing because this is pretty heavy. So we're going to Age Regression. I imagine you all know what it is, right? The issues, because both people in age play and age grey kind of deal with a lot of stigma, a lot of misinformation. Both are kind of victims of that. Some people get confused, like you guys have brought up. People confuse someone who engages in age regression with age play, because age play has kind of been around more. It's got a lot more recognition, so people confuse it. Here's one of the issues, or one of the criticisms of, you might do it, Ryan. Here's one of the criticisms, not really criticisms, but issues of age regression. The terminology, and historically, this stuff did come from kink, age play circles. Age regression ones kind of grew out of it. Because of that reason, the misunderstanding, the misinterpreting, using the same terminology, this was what causes the confusion. It doesn't justify anything that happens, and unfortunately there is a lot of people who've had god-awful experiences because there are not very nice people out there. But this is one of the things that brings up the concerns of it. The main issue people have with age regression, as I forgot your name, sorry, Layla, I think her name was that here's the main distinction between the two. Simplified distinction. Age play can be simplified as in a very, this is a sloppy sense. Sloppy, okay, this isn't set in stone, it's just sloppy to give an idea. Age play can be set in it's fun and it's voluntary. People will mostly boil down age regression to involuntarily and cope. The other two, age play tends to be very adult. It is adult. It is adults. It has a sexual thing to it. It is practiced by adults, consenting adults. It's very adult community. Age array and age regression is the complete opposite. Now, people have issues with minors engaging in this act of regression. It's become a very, I want to say, common thing or a prevalent thing, a rising thing in some cases. You can see it kind of in social media. How prevalent is hard to tell because social media isn't always a brilliant lens to look at reality, nor to try and ever generalize on, nor is anything really, but hey. My stance on it, and the reason I'll bring it up, I'll bring up my views. Age regression. The only thing that I can understand people have issues with it is, one, the history, the terminology, but which isn't easy to break from, so it's not really a good criticism. Trying to break from labels that have been used for a while was difficult. And, yeah. So one of the other things people bring up is power dynamic. Although there's nothing sexual about it, there is a power dynamic, people would say. There's a power dynamic present in people who age regress. However, that's not a great criticism because there's a power dynamic everywhere. When you go to a doctor, there's a power dynamic. When you go to a therapist, there's a power dynamic. When there's a sense of authority, there is a power dynamic. So that doesn't stand, that one, at all, that much, to be honest. The reason I can understand why people are concerned about minors is engaging in it is because, one, the history, but also it can open up to risk. It's this whole, if you have a community that is very young based, it almost, people will argue it invites, people who are gonna, it puts up a, but then you could say that about a lot of things. You could say it about any fandom, But yeah, I think age players, no, it's not about sneezy time. It doesn't have to be inherently sexual at all. It depends. I'm someone who's practicing both, and I do content for both. It doesn't have to be sexual in any way. For me, even when I used to do age play, it was very rarely. It was the nurturing aspect. The only thing that would separate it from age aggression was the power dynamic. Yeah. Dom sub is not inherently sexual in nature. The power dynamic isn't inherently sexual in nature. No, it isn't. And the issue is, regressing, as we just discussed, is a phenomena that any human and you do experience all the time, more than you realize. So, is it harmful? Is it harmful for which, even if there wasn't a community, just imagine, let's just hypothesize, if there wasn't a community for age aggression, and you can meet many people who have adopted these coping mechanisms as young kids. They didn't do it for a community, but it didn't harm them. They didn't all get involved with, not everyone's had that horror story. It's because of the community. Some people would argue it's because of the community there's that risk. And I can understand why people are coming from a concern point. It's more concern, the concern and the risk for the kids who get involved. I think, I don't know where I stand, because I can understand both. Do I think it's dangerous? No. I don't think it's harmful. I think anything, as long as it's in moderation and it's safe and sane, it's okay. Do I think that it's good for a community of it to be made? I think it's so fucking unfortunate that there's always a risk whenever there's a community of a young audience. I don't know where I stand on it, really. I can understand many points, and in all honesty, it's a struggle. The main problem I have in mind is there's a lot of risks to them in these communities. Yes. There's a risk factor. There's a lot of factors that could be very risky. I think it should be brought up, especially when it comes to psychological professionals. I have PTSD from my mother and Mr. Yeah, like there's many reasons people would turn to this. We say minors don't interact. It's fully just us wanting the best for them. Yeah. So I don't really know where I stand on it. I feel in the middle, because this isn't, we shouldn't have to gatekeep a phenomena or something that can be used to cope. You can't, really. You can't stop what's going to happen as a psychological process at all. I mean, maybe if you guys have any other... I'm intrigued to hear whatever you all have to say. My brain is not fully working. I don't know where I stand either. I usually just listen to audios as well. Don't know about community stuff. Yeah, it's the thing. Not everyone's involved in a community. Some people just engage in it. I actually discovered both age play and age aggression through listening to ASMR content and things of that nature, believe it or not. Probably like many others. Plus, the thing that I liken it to always explain the difference is the spectrum thing. It's called spectrum, it just makes things easier. Is I kind of think about, I know a couple people. I've met a couple people who, look at my phone. Okay, why? Okay, I'm looking at my phone. Right. Uh-huh. Aww. Also, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same with communities. Communities could be a double-edged sword. I say there should be more education surrounding general and especially for minors engaging in a community of adults in the same spaces. I think that's why it needs... While I say the conflict is unnecessary, I think the separation is necessary. Massively. It needs to be there. I'm 16, only an age regression. I usually only interact with age regressed people who refine my age, and most people are under 20 because I'm scared of meeting people with, fedos. If consenting adults want to have sexual encounters with consenting adults, feel free. It's just a risk of my... Yeah, no. I think that's... And it's understandable why there's a concern there. Unfortunately, both age play and age regression have been massively misunderstood and misrepresented. God-awful documentaries released from them. And now we're going to move on to the subject. Let's see if you're right, Ryan. I want you all to think of something before I drop this, because while I could tell you what it is, I feel like it's just better to try and get everyone outside of what they're thinking. So I want to ask you quick. Everyone knows, I imagine, if you didn't already, there was this old archaic accusation many years ago that by someone playing a violent video game, they would actually incite violence themselves. My throat is the best blind, right? That by playing GTA, you would go and actually enact out those actions. This logic that you playing as, I don't know, a terrorist in a video game will make you a terrorist. This has been massively debunked. I don't think I need to say that. We can all agree that this is not true, right? Everyone just say if you think that's... If someone can give me a reason you think that's true. And you'll see why I'm bringing this up. And while you do that, I'm going to get more water. Yeah, exactly. Now I play shooters all the time, and anything that's taught me is how to shoot. Exactly. The skirt. Oh, yeah, it's a Catboy skirt. Hello. Anyway, try and get this up. Okay. Get a little further back. Oh, anyway, so let's go. You can all agree that that's absolutely not true. I talk too much. Yes, I do. Also, I don't know if you want to... Yeah, my bed. Do you... This? And the reason that looks comfy is because I don't own a mattress. So that is literally about 10 quilts. I sleep on 10 quilts because I collected them because I can't sleep on mattresses. Yeah, so you guys can all agree. And the main reason that... Because people will bring up the one instance that someone did play these games and actually did, incite violence. There's a difference, though. Just because there wasn't many. And two, the main issue... Because you can probably find a lot more violent media in movies. We can all agree. A lot more realistic. Maybe early years, anyway. Early in... the age of the media. Exactly, it also depends on our age. Yeah, depends on your moral compass. But it also depends on one key thing. The ability to tell fantasy from reality. That's the reason you can watch a movie and you can enjoy it. You can get involved, but you won't get too heavily involved because you can tell a difference, right? The reason I bring this up, I've both seen and had this done to me. I've also seen others have it done to them. And if you go on social media, you will find it times tenfold. The growing discourse around the subject of age play is this notion, this claim, that age play is sexualization of children. Claiming that, or claiming that it is a gateway to paedophilic actions. So there's a bomb. That is the growing discourse around the subject. I personally have had this fill my comment section. I have, in my entire amateur content career, had my comment section absolutely abysmally filled by this and things of that nature. Some came through, most of them were withheld. Music, I will add music because we need music in this title. What is playing? That is not a good thing to play. Let's play Kirby again. There we go. It's nice and chill. So, if you didn't know, that is what the discourse is. This notion that although it is being practiced by two consenting adults, between adults, it's sexualization of children. Even though no children are involved, people try and say it's the behavior. You shouldn't be drawn to the behavior. A lot of times, it's not that. It's not to do with the fact someone's a child. I would say, and I invite you to see it from this perspective, and this is me talking as someone who has engaged in age play. Yeah, I can't, that's mic self-noise, so you guys can hear me. I apologize about that. It is not about that. For me, what I both experienced and saw, it is the chance to give control. Entering a state where you are very reliant, where someone is completely nurturing towards you in a parental sense, is nothing heinous in any way or sense. It's not sexualizing children. Oh yes, but it can be taken too far. That's the same in any community. People are attracted to a child, but yes, it's the dynamic. It is the sub and dominant dynamic. It is the parental dynamic. It is entering that nurturing state. It can be, you might not be regressing in a coping sense, regressing in an involuntary sense. It's not even acting sometimes. It is different for everyone, but a lot of the time it's the nurture. Some paedophiles use age play as an excuse though, and then it's problematic. Yeah, that doesn't mean everyone should suffer and get accused of it though. In any way or any form. It's awful because it's hard to find a safe space, such a scary society like I'm 19 and still struggling to get comfy and nurturing. Yeah, it's a lot of people it is the nurture. There is a sexual aspect to it, that can be. But yeah. So that's the growing discourse. And it has the same logic as the claim that Grand Theft Auto will make you a violent person. Because you can stretch this accusation to ungodly things. We don't hear it too much because it's not as prevalent, but there are also people who will claim that people who engaged in pet play or engage in anything of that nature is bestiality, even though there's no animals present. The only time that's an issue is if you can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy. You can be into both at once. Yes, you can. Absolutely. No one has to fit in the boxes. Why would you? I think, like, when I got into pet play and even the wholesome side, I was so bewildered because when you tried to find any resources on it, it was odd. No one told you how to do it because there wasn't a set structure. And there isn't, because you can experience it in multitude of ways. Exactly, I wonder where cat is. It's different for everyone. There is no one way to practice it. It amazed me when I found that out. There's a reason age play shouldn't be for minors. Oh, well, I definitely agree it shouldn't be, but yeah, no, I don't think it should be for minors at all. There needs to be a separation. The conflict is unneeded, but the separation is. Yeah, do people making these claims? No. I don't think many people actually try and peer review scientific research. I doubt it. And I have yet to have anything sent to me as a claim. But this falls down the same logic as someone saying, if you didn't know, there is a erotic toy, sex toy maker called Bad Dragon. Very popular, especially in the furry community, right? And you do find some people, but you wouldn't find the claim that people who buy these toys, which are normally representing animal genitalia, are doing bestiality. But they're not. There's no animal present. It might resemble it, but there's no animal present. When someone does age play, you know it's not a child. Because you actually do hear this accusation of sexualization drawn to a different level. I've even seen it in very rare cases. Someone will go as far to say paraphernalia. Adults shouldn't be wearing paraphernalia that seems childish because it could be read differently. You shouldn't be finding this cute because you're an adult. It's a child. It can go down a bewildering lane of logic. The only thing that I kind of say on the same topic, if you play violent games, like when I was youngly stupid and gore, now watching, I'm desensitized. You can get desensitized. It depends on the exposure, depends on the moral compass, depends on many, many factors. What are your views on minors of the same age participating in age play? If they're above the age of consent, I would say okay, but I feel there's a certain age. It probably should be 18 to 21. Because you have to have a certain level of maturity. You have to be very aware of consent, of safe and sane, of how these dynamics work, and not everyone does. There are some awful parts of the community as well. Not very into age play, but it's the hot part about degrading. Yeah, look, it can be, there's many aspects. It can be degrading, it can be the child, it can just be the aesthetic, you know? Yeah, that's why I was careful about that one. Age of consent is different in different countries, so it's not an easy one to answer nor state. One thing I find cute, non-sexual about the whole thing, and just to say comforting someone, yeah, like I've had many friends and others I've known who were littles, and yeah, some of it was so wholesome. I would generally actually forget to breathe because it was just such a cute sight. Yeah, it's a hard one. I don't think I'm one to try and say where the line should be drawn. And again, I'm just saying perspectives, really. Reminds me when people talked about the Japanese style Joe Fuku. Never heard of that. Not much is going to change. Got to live through it. Sorry, my throat. Makes sense there. I've been doing age okay since 16. People were the same age. I was always aware of consent, difference, and feeling maturity enough to do it in a trusting way. In UK, we technically have 2 ages of consent. 16, 17, 18. Is it 2? And this, it's like divided between the delegations of the UK, like Scotland and Ireland and whatnot. Now, I can understand someone, you know, if someone's using this as a way to cope, you know, that's like stereotypical age aggression, then they are going to be kind of, you are going to be maybe disgusted to have disdain towards people who are doing it in a sexual nature in age play practices, but you don't have to like something. Personal objections are completely okay, having a personal opinion, but hostile actions, doxing, harassing, and outright accusing others who engage in age play or anything of that nature of being that is just not okay. It's absolutely wrong, and it actually has influenced a lot. There are even some kink circles that actually exclude anyone who engages in age play because that discourse is grown so far and wide, even in, I say some circles because it is some, and it's unfortunate because it actually does kind of reaffirm the stigma of kink. You only hear the worst horror stories about it, and so it doesn't get a good representation, especially if you go way back years. Back then, I always went little space shopping with my cousin because she supported me, and now she left me. Oh no, oh bless her. Somewhat like childlike dressing. Oh, okay. Yeah, you've also had aesthetics that people confuse it with. You know, there's like kidcore, toddlercore. There's different like cute kawaii aesthetics. It's needed for people to be more aware because kink regression needs. Make word on, sorry, I'm regressing right now. That's okay. But yeah, no, have your personal objections, be grossed out or cringed by something, but don't go around, like, doing things of that nature. It's absolutely fucking vile. It's disgusting, and I don't think people realise how damaging and hurtful and how much it really messes with someone being accused of that or being labelled as a pedophile. If that's said in a social circle where they're known and people don't ever ask for context and they jump straight to assumptions, that's debilitating. You know? That's alright, thank you all for joining, and anyone who's leaving, thank you all for joining. I know it's been quite a heavy topic towards the end. Currently listening to this on the train home for my night out. I had to check out my headphones, definitely working. I'm sure the train would love to hear about Bad Dragon. Yeah, I did try and put like a trigger warning in the description before it went live. But yeah, no. And it's not just that. There are other aspects. There are a tendency. I say a tendency. Not saying it's always the case. You got the tendency of people in the age aggression kind of. You got some people, they don't like kink, of course, and that's completely okay. They want to be separate. They should be separate. But you've got others who will kind of reaffirm all the stigma of kink that has had over the years. Not necessarily pro age play myself, but I had to distance myself from people who call and posted that. Oh yeah, yikes. Yeah. Imagine Dragons. I don't really know what else to say on the subject. Let me check my notes. As I stated before, it definitely should be differentiated. It shouldn't be a conflict. It should be a toleration. There should be respect. It should be separated. Definitely separation for the safety of anyone who is engaging in that. Yeah. I will say though, as someone who's done both, I found it really hard to find places to engage in because I am not a minor, and I do age play and age regression, and trying to find a circle where it's got people who do both and are of the age of consent was a struggle, because it's definitely, the separation kind of broadens a lot, but that was years ago. Glad I joined, learned a lot. I'll be able to live more than I knew coming, which wasn't much. Won't say I'm an expert. Oh wow. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. Especially when it's minders themselves posting anti-content, just like that. Yeah, I understand. There shouldn't be a conflict towards. It shouldn't. It's just shitty. I mean, it's kind of expected. If it is for the minors, you are going to get some level of immaturity. Already mentioned this, but when my friend was 13 years, they asked me if I was going to go. If I was going to SA. Oh god, no. What the hell? Yeah, I forgot to mention that. It's also the accusation both receive, to be honest. I've heard. At the end of the day, if people don't understand, people are adults, not hurting anyone, even if it's weird. Yeah. For age play, what people do between their sex lives, if it's safe, saying consensual, not harming anyone, not illegal, fuck you, none of your fucking business. Simple. Regardless on your opinions on it. Right? Regardless on your personal objections. If someone's doing something and it's wholesome, it's things like that, it's fine. When I was 11, confused, I'm involved with some age play. Oh god, no. You wanted news as a problem with minors and age play? I don't know. Ooh, yikes. Yeah, no. That's why there needs to... I think there's an active... Don't encourage. Another thing is, Noe bats an eye when couples call each other a baby. So I found the logic of people finding age very weird. Yeah... I mean, I'm going to say bad words. It's in my vocabulary. I've already sworn once in this video, so I'm just going to get age demonetize. Age restricted. Eventually, one day. When the bot finds the naughty word. But also just to emphasize, because if it's between two adults and they're consenting and it's safe, no one's getting harmed, none of your business in any way or sense. It's not involving an actual child, it's involving an act. You wouldn't try and... My brain is now shutting down. Slowly losing the logic and the process to think. It is about nearly midnight, so that's my excuse. And some people have this attitude, even people who aren't, that there's creeps. They've experienced creeps because creeps do exist. There are creepy people out there, in different forms. That is an inherent kink. It happens. I don't want to say society, but it's a society. It's a society problem. It's a problem that it's present in society. It's not anything else. And the thing that, I had a bad experience here, so everyone here must be, X thing, so reductionistic. Yeah, my last thing is, don't let someone tell you what you can and can't do with a phenomena, what you can't experience. Don't ever let someone gatekeep what your experiences are. You're not harming anyone. Just because you aren't fitting in the way people think doesn't mean you don't... Well, you might not do it the same way as most people do it. Don't mean it's not valid, or if it's not worth anything. You wouldn't tell someone, I don't know, hey, you're not gay. Why? You don't do the yes and the wear pink and... Yeah. Your buttons are very stimulating, I love them. I was introduced to age play when I was 14, I'm 18 now, and wish I waited. Oh, yikes. Sorry to hear that. And I can understand why there's mixed feelings. Not mixed feelings, but there is feelings on both sides. People who do age regression and they just want to be exposed to that, but they have to find new terminology. The world mostly knows of age play, so they keep getting mistaken for sexual acts or accused of that. A lot of it is a boiling pot waiting to happen, but it needs to be moved on from. And I think some minors don't realise just how damaging it is to make accusations, claims, even say things like that. Especially on social media. How come when I always come to realize I have to leave for school? Yeah, not all stereotypes correct. Like, absolutely. I mean, barely any are. Thomas Fanny needs to go to bed, so I better go before the count downstairs. Alright, Ryan, thanks for joining. See ya. What did I do, Angie? Why are you telling me no? I've had that song stuck in my head all day. I think I've said everything I need to say, really. Yeah, okay. There's one thing that I was going to mention. I've never seen it mentioned. People banging about age play, but no, I've never heard anyone banging about how for years now, the porn industry and just pornographic content, you've always had the, like, not stereotype, but like, there's always that theme of Catholic schoolgirl. But you never heard people kind of say the same things. The voice. What voice? What did I do? What voice did I do? Oh, what? The ass. Gotta go. Dinner time. Hope everyone have a good rest and day. Alright, thanks for joining, Brandy. See ya. The shirt is so you know, there's my input, my perspective. I'm not trying to say this is the truth and only the truth. It's just my perspective. I think I've laid things down in a logical manner, but if someone wants to, I'm open to discuss. Been struggling with regressing for a while and feeling okay being small rather than having to be big all the time. And videos help a lot. Oh, I'm glad the videos help, little bird. Thank you, T. That's very sweet. Also, I've had top chat on. No. Yeah, let me check that quick. What button is it? Oh no, what did I do? There we go. I can't believe I had top. Oh, was there any difference? Bruh. Okay, well, at least I didn't miss my. Where'd it go? I lost it. There we go. Wait, no, it's on the wrong. Bear with me. There we go. My teacher thought I wanted to impress him because I was wearing a schoolgirl outfit as a guy, although I just like the outfit. Why? Bruh. What the hell? Love your age regression content. Don't mind getting many I don't mind getting as many tags and tabs as possible. Do that myself. I just wish I could tell what's 100% safe work. Yeah, I've been trying to put safe work in the thing. Of my previous ones, I think the only issue with one of them was there was a little hint of romance with the kissing, which I didn't realise at the time. Other ones I think are okay. I think my recent ones are a bit better. The recent one was 100% safe for work, and that was actually improv. A fun story. I actually recorded that, and I felt it was trash. I recorded that immediately after the drawing one, which I wasn't happy with at all. You guys loved it. I wasn't happy with it in any way. That teacher was my comfort teacher before, and now I'm still creeped out. Oh god. Yeah, that's ooh. The music stopped, didn't it? Again. Why did my music stop? Bruh. Wait, it's playing? I don't see it on OBS. How odd. Oh. Was there no music this entire time? No. That's not good. Okay, that should have fixed it. Oh. There, got a new Build-A-Bear frog. His name is Benjen. He has a dino. Oh, that's adorable. That is cute as. Yeah, I love the new 2 recent ones. Oh, thank you. One of my teachers told me he was going to go knock on my window at night and tell me my... Oh, that's creepy. Love the shirt. Oh, thank you. My parent sits to me when I listen to audios and repeats "pretty baby" all the time. Oh no. Off topic, where'd you get your skirt from? Actually, if you go to my... There's a direct link to it, actually. If you go to any of my recent videos, you'll see if you want to support me link on Throne. If you go to my... not wishlist. If you go to my storefront, I think it's called. The store is called... God, I can't... Hang on, I've got one of their hats on. Bees, it's called Bees something. Bebeazled, I think? Bebeazled? But yeah. Literally constantly set us an alarm for a, I have no school work. Wait, what? Set an alarm for 4 AM, but like I have no school work and nothing to even do. Oh god, no, that's bad. It was an email. I've called instructors daddy before. Oh no. They have a plushie named Evans. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, hang on. I want to show you what Evie something. God. Curious how you started doing age regression content. I don't see a lot of it online, to be honest. I always get so excited when I stumble on some. Like I said earlier, I started out doing age play, and then I had a lot of people comment about age regression, and originally I actually brushed it off. I thought my perception at the time was as long as it's wholesome, it's okay. So a lot of my content age play was wholesome. I didn't realise there shouldn't be a romantic aspect there. I just didn't know that much about age regression, so I was entirely wrong. You can hug it when you if you manage to get over here, Angie, at some point. But yeah, no, that's pretty much how I started. I just started drawing out recently, really. It's been a recent thing, to be honest. You know, I like to try and do both. It's nice to... I try and do the most widest audience I can, because I also like to explore both. Some of them are really nice to do. I've had a lot of ideas for some reason, but it's trying to get it down. My breathing. Don't know why my breathing's comforting, but I'm glad you find my breathing comforting. Your hands are like realistic doll hands. I'm running over. Aww. Yee. My friend's got me this. It's adorable. I got this and I got a Litten somewhere. It's Litten. There he is. Here we go. But yeah, that's pretty much how it started, really. Some of them are really a breath of fresh air, in all honesty. I struggle, big time. My Vaporeon's name, I actually don't name my plushies, I've just called him Vaporeon. I might actually, I don't know, just call him Icicle, I guess. You know, while I do this content, after 4 years, that's how you get me home. Whereas I haven't got an Eevee. I haven't got My Pokemon cards away. I was about to say I've got like an Eevee Pokemon. I've got a giant one just like this. These giant cards are so funny. I had someone take ones like a convention once. Not convention, a championship. Also, it's a comfort by your audios, not just the Age Regression ones, but other ones as well, especially when they're gender neutral. Oh, bless you, I'm glad you enjoy them. How many stuffies do you have? Hang on. I have about 8. I don't count the ninth one because they kind of lost an eye and now they look terrifying and I'm not showing them on stream. I had a bad day and I threw them in anger and I didn't expect the eyes to break. I love when you laugh with your chest. I don't know how you could tell that, but okay. Gotta go. Got a stream today, so I should go because alright. Good luck with your stream. Bye Noel, thanks for joining. You know, although I do this content, I will drop a bomb. It's gonna sound strong, but it's true. I hate kids. I am not very fond of children in any way or sense. I've always had a running joke in my friends group, and that's the only kids I can handle are littles. I can only handle people who are, when we do an age play, because they have that, well, they can function as an adult afterwards. I'm not good with kids. Even when I was younger, I, for some reason, despised anyone who was younger than me. It's just always there. I have no idea why. It's not there anymore. I'm just not fond of kids. And I, my own personal view on kids is kind of cold. I kind of internalized. I mean, hate sounds like a strong word. I'm just not fond of them. Especially like, actually, a really funny thing I discovered recently. So, I used to regress very little. These days I'm not too comfortable with that. There's a lot of reasons and factors, but one of them I started turning to as an alternative was like a toddler middle. Not possible for me. The reason why? That's the one age I don't like. I do not like toddlers. Toddlers to me are the worst. Worse than babies. So I have this urge to regress, but then I get knocked out by this judging of myself because I hate that age group. But the reason is I actually, both my own philosophy, but also I internalized my parents, one of my parents, my dominant parent, let's say, view on children. They saw children as a nuisance. And in fact, to put it as briefly, me and my siblings were an illusion of worth. We gave my dominant parent the illusion of worth. We were the only reason yeah, that's it. And that's as unhealthy as it sounds, and that was it. We were literally a job, a role, nothing else. Other than a good income and money, but that was not completely the main factor. Was one of them. But I internalized their view on kids, so I also saw children that way. These days I can deal with them if I have to. I had to arrange an event with kids recently. Did not enjoy it. Luckily their parents are there, so it wasn't too much. But yeah, I'm not fond of kids. And I don't plan on ever having kids myself. I'm gonna apologise to anyone who has children if you're about to hear this. I have a very cold outlook. Just for me personally, I don't want to spend 18 years of my life raising something or someone that I could not connect with. I am a very dissociated individual. Therefore, emotions can fly. Someone's worth and meaning to me can literally just die in a matter of seconds. It would be hell. And 2, I don't want to waste 18 years of my life raising someone. I don't see the joy people do. I don't see the benefit. I don't see the love. I have a friend who had children, and when they described with such joy and wonder and splendor their time with their kids, I was in awe, because it's so alien to me. But for me, I want to work on myself. I want to live my life. I don't want to live my life for someone I'm raising. That's my cold little outlook. You are welcome. I share that outlook. You're not alone. I spy kids. I like how I feel like if people want to have kids, that's fine, but it shouldn't be because that's how society's been. Everyone should fucking have kids. It's not how it should be. I have a question about age play, age regression. Sure, shoot. I have college in the morning. I'm so fucked. I have a 4-hour commute, and I chose to do this. Oh well, I'll get there eventually. What was your question? Junie has my heart, zero. Oh, thank you, Jamie Secret. What is already populated? I don't see need to have many kids. Yeah, I don't either. There's so many already in like adoption agencies and care homes. Like, yeah. Too much of a people pleaser to be mean to kids, but if I really hate them because of obvious reasons, but they also make me regress fast. Oh no. Like, I had a younger sibling and I could get down to a level, and in all honesty, the reason I actually like people who are in age play is because they can appreciate the little things. They can appreciate engaging in childish aspects, actually enjoying things by, I mean, the one thing I did the minute I moved out of the place I was in, the minute I got my own place to live in, my own sources of income, I bought the things that I previously couldn't, because it's seen as I shouldn't have it in my age. And I feel like it's nice to meet people who, for some people, adulthood, it's not how it should be, but for some people is kind of this notion that you need to ditch everything. You just work now, pay taxes, you don't have to engage in anything childish, you don't have to enjoy the things you used to. There's no reason anyone should move on from anything unless they want to, really. So I love finding people who can still creativity and joy and passion and enthusiasm, all the things that kind of life can drain out of someone, finding that in someone and helping them experience that, even for a brief moment, feels amazing to me. That means more to me than ever raising a kid would, in my opinion. Making someone experience that means the world to me. I hate when people imply you're selfish not wanting kids. Yeah, it's much more selfish to have a child you don't want. There are so many reasons I'd never have a kid. Yeah, there's some people who shouldn't have kids. I'm going to bounce some things. It was awesome being here and learning. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you learned a bit. And I'm glad you enjoyed it. Long question, hang on. People can regress but be dominant to other... People can regress but be dominant to other littles at the same time because you make age array content as a CG, but also as a little, if that makes sense. Hang on, I need to read that again. People can regress but be dominant to other littles. I'm trying to... People can regress, yeah, but be dominant to other levels. Yeah, that's possible in an age play context, I would say, yeah. There is the flip side of, like, the little being the dominant, and that's interesting and fun. Because you make age regression content as a caregiver, but also as a little... I'm going to have to ask you if you can reword that. I don't think I'm understanding the question, sorry. So selfish, damn Jay, bruh. I have ADHD and also my cuteness aggression is very heightened, and so is my awareness of children scare me and panic me. Oh, God bless you. Any appeal to being a parent is the fact that I could parent better than my own parents. Yeah, like, people told me that, and I respect anyone who chooses that. I feel like the one goal that I would like to have in my life is this kind of process of, and it's completely possible, I'm going to call it deprogramming. Or decoding, ditching all the Because as you grow up, as you're aging, and you turn into a teenager and you become an adult, you've had so many, what would in like sociology be called socialization or agencies of socialization, ideologies, beliefs, ideas, interests, and all of it is coming from like not completely an outside influence, but it's there. You don't have that freedom. There's an understandable reason why that freedom isn't as present, because you do need someone to take care of you for your well-being. Trying to live life where you're not driven by things that are there because of other people, of the past. You can meet many people who are kind of driven by their let me think. You can meet people who are driven by their, their want to please their parents. You can meet people who have interests that way. I don't know how I'm wording this. This sounds awful. Kind of just cutting out what you don't need, what you don't want anymore. I feel like for me, if I was to try and parent a child based on the notion I'm going to do a better job than my own, I'm still being motivated by something I haven't moved on from, in my opinion. I don't know, it's interesting. Even if you say you're not influenced by your upbringing, even the notion of rebelling against your parents or rebelling against or trying not to be one thing is kind of falling under influence. As humans, we're very, very impressionable, Also, I'm just going to check. Sometimes it's needed to regress voluntarily, of course, because I feel bratty or like ungrateful and needs to be comforted. Oh, yeah, no, that's understandable. Love your content. My friend got me into it because he said he did a couple of scripts for you and I wanted to check him out and I got hooked. Oh, wow, really? I'm glad you enjoy it. Hope I won't have a panic attack when I go to sleep. Just going to listen to one of your audios. Alright, I hope you don't have a panic attack. Hope you do okay, Alistair, okay? So that's it, brain. Couldn't read the question. I hate to go. Your videos are great, to be honest. Same with him. A little hard, but it's true. Oh, bless you. Jamie, I'm really bewildered how my content could do that, but I'm very happy it did. I'm really happy to hear that it prevented you from that. Like, you make videos in which you're a caregiver to a little, but never little videos in which you're a little. Yeah, because I've done both roles. I've done both being a little, both being a caregiver. Some of it's been acting, some of it's been actually me in those states. Me being actually regressed is not something I think I'll be able to capture in an age regression sense, in an age play sense, maybe, but maybe that's why children like me, even though I don't like them. I can never fathom even treating a child the way I was treated, even if I didn't like them around me. Yeah, nah, makes sense. Your weird day and selfish, damn. This bloodline dies with me, lol. Yeah, I have the same thing. This bloodline will die with me. How do you stand having a 4-hour commute? I can do that. Because I was motivated because my local college is trash. Budget. I've been there before many times, and 28 tutors in the space of a year for one module, and the module then being cut off is not ideal. Unfortunately, even though I'm commuting so far, I'm still dealing with the same issues. I had no psychology tutor on my psychology course for 8 weeks, the main subject, and they haven't given us any resources, even though there are resources out there. Only now they decided to do that, but after 4 months. So yeah, college is college, and I hate it, and I can't wait for it to finish. Have to get to bed now. Good night, day. Have a nice rest of your stream. Thank you. I'll probably sign off in a bit since I have to fucking. I'm gonna be so dead tired tomorrow. I had an exam. Luckily, I can sleep a nice 4 hours. Oh, thank you for joining the stream. Sweet dreams. That makes sense. I think I was brain fine. That's fine. Not meant to be right now because I'm in school, but having a nice rest of the stream. Alright, well, good luck with school. Thank you, Square. Hello, Angel at Beauty. So yeah, no, that's pretty much the conversation done. I can talk for another like 20 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, and then I'll have to head off. Babysat my 6-year-old nephew today, and almost every day at 15, 16 years old, solidified my fear of having children. It's exhausting. Yeah, for me, like learning child psychology and just not having a great childhood myself, and also just I won't go into detail, but when I started content creation, I actually was living in an abusive household, being exposed to it. The only sort of parental nature that came out of me was with my younger sibling, who I actually fought for custody, nearly, until things got flipped on their head, which the custody isn't there, of course, because I live alone. I hope they're okay. I have no idea. I don't have any communication with them because they decided that I got social involved and I got all the legal involved, and unfortunately my sibling decided it was too stressful for them, and so they decided to cut me and the rest of any family member out, so I have no communication anywhere at all. Thank you so much. I'm really thankful for your content and everything. I'm kind of struggling lately, especially with my childhood traumas and some things. I feel so bad for my scars. Jamie, your scars are, it's going to sound very odd, you're still here and those scars are there while they're not present, and they're probably not a nice reminder. You're still here. There's probably been many times where that might not have been the case and you've been tempted to do things, but you're still here, and that shows you're strong. What are your pants like design? They're a Catboy skirt. Yeah, my friend said that you voiced in one of your audios. I think it was... Yeah, no, Sadachi! Yeah, I hope he's doing well. I feel bad I haven't spoken to him in a while. I'm really bad with communication these days. Really, really bad. Tell him I hope he's doing well and I'll get through to him soon at some point. Anyone who's curious about these, if you go to my throne, which is a link in most of the recent videos, if you go to the storefront and you go to Be Beazled, this is where I got them. I saw this at like con. I fell in love. There was that, and there was like a femboy store, so I was like, oh hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, let's go. Is this that wait, no, it's not, is it? Which one? Yeah, it is. I have to be careful. I had to take one of them down because although there was like a lo-fi of my war, Angie, but the lo-fi was okay. I used a lo-fi, but the person who made the lo-fi has been claimed, and now that video's been claimed, and that video is too long for me to edit it out, so I literally have to download a 7-hour video and then upload it instead of keeping it as a live stream because it's been copyright claimed. How old are you? I don't really discuss my age. I'm above the age of 18, but I don't discuss my age. That's a privacy matter. Oh, thank you, Elijah. Elijah? Is that what it's pronounced? Yeah, no, I was good. I can show you that though. It was a nice lo-fi. It sounded gorgeous. Hello, Chantel. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Well, I will head off in 4 minutes because I have revision to do because I have an exam tomorrow. I have brilliant priorities. I'm not motivated for this college. It's so hard to motivate when it's like this. There's a femboy store I want. The one I call a femboy store, if you get it at Etsy and you type in something called occult trash, OCCULT trash, you will find some femboy apparel. You are welcome. I can show you like a little bit of what I have. I'll just aim the camera down so my face isn't shown. I'll check Discord in a minute. Give me a sec. This is one of the ones I got, and it came with like shorts, like booty shorts, and some thigh highs as well, so why have I just noticed the tail? It's been hidden this entire time. It was very well hidden. The joys of living alone. You can wear whatever you want, regardless how weird it is. It's not midnight. Yeah, it is. It's midnight for me. Dave, can you tell your Mother Nature? Can you tell Mother Nature to stop the thunder and to stop making my... Oh God, no. Oh bless you. Is that a black butler pillow? Yeah. Wrong way. Yes, it is. Day in booty shorts. What an image. I have an image, but it isn't. It's not clean because those are very thin, and you can probably guess the issue there. Even though the image was safe for work, those shorts are too thin, in a sense. He never watched it. He doesn't deserve it. I will watch it. I just don't have time. I want a tail. Give me. This tail was so old. I got this in a convention at like, God, 6 years ago now, which is mind blowing. Also, you said Discord, didn't you? Let's have a look. Aww. Cutie. Give me a bitch. No, it's my line. It's my line. Do you have a bunny plushie? I'm holding mine. I don't have a bunny plushie, no. What song is playing actually? The tiger is so scary, is it? I was playing Zelda, we're fine. I thought it'd start like playing like I was worried it might just start like playing Death Note out of nowhere then. Love your videos. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy them. Because he's ever was moving out alone because like yeah, same. I think I'll do like one thing I actually do want to do is content. I do want to do like content about like what it's like moving out and going out on your own. Because even though I did it very late, because literally couldn't for more than financial reasons. He's been named Double. Does the tiger bite? Yeah, he nibbles. Don't feel like anything though. New channel mascot. Also, I am gonna apologize for like the square ass camera. The camera is literally a Wii webcam. I don't know how I'm able to use it as a webcam. Don't ask me. What time is it for me? It's like midnight. My mum thinks I'm just very childish. Well, she has no idea. I feel like you can get away with it if you look at like kawaii stores. Like when I was at a convention and I found the dungarees, which I'll show because they are adorable. Oh, it was underneath here, but... Look, fall down. Bruh. These, which were cute, but like, chat's not working on stream. Has it been like that the entire time? Is stream elements still playing up? Because that might be an issue. I won't exploit too much. Come on, pick up. There you go. You guys don't get to see the maid dress. The maid dress is for another time. It's okay because you're not a good streamer like me. Fuck you. Fuck you. Do you like to draw? Yeah, I've drawn. I draw. There's a couple of live streams where I'm like drawing like ink. I mostly do ink these days. Tiny bit. I haven't done some in a while though. Ink and alcohol markers. Love Death Note cosplayed Misa. I have yet to actually see the character Misa. Yeah, no, there was a store that was doing those dungarees, and I can swear to you, I felt like 90% of the people who came to buy them must have been little, because they had like Pokemon. A lot of them were very like kid core, baby core. I was like, wow. I will go now. I guess hopefully I'll be in chat anytime again. Love your videos and that you get through this. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jamie. See ya. Take care. Just say it, I'm your idol streamer girl. Bruh. Look at this. Look at that, Angie. Huh? Shilling. You shilling. I'm trying to plug you. Anyway, thank you all for joining the stream. I'm glad it's kind of calmed down. I was worried this is going to be very heated. I need to make dinner. I might have forgotten that subject. Oh dear God, this is going to be a fun college day. Anyway, I will see you all later, okay? And I want you all to take care. Just my last message for this was, it should be differentiated, you know? It shouldn't be a conflict. Just toleration and respect. It's not hard. Concern is okay, but the extremes we talked about and the discourses are not. So yeah. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Hope you all have a lovely night or day. And yeah, I'll see you guys around. Next live stream will be the Discord, designing a Discord, getting that done. So yeah, everyone get ready for that one. Upload tomorrow. That was supposed to be one tonight, but I wanted to get this. I really felt like I needed to get this out of my system. It was weird to be affected by my comment section. I'm been doing this a very long time. Always been fine. Never have I ever just been shooketh. But yeah, this one I was shooketh. But I'm glad I could get this off my chest and discuss this, and I'm happy that I've sat here and listened to everyone else's opinions and that I could share mine. If anyone else wants to discuss this further, I guess I actually might make these streams a common occurrence. Not just gaming streams, but literally just discussion. Maybe something a bit more philosophical, but yeah, no, this was nice. No, thank you all for listening and sharing your opinions and sharing your perspectives and asking questions. It's definitely appreciated. I like this. Gaming and whatnot is fun, but interactive and actually interacting with you guys is nice. Outside of the parasocial, you know, voice acting, yada yada yada. This is nice. So yeah, I'm actually thinking of doing a stream maybe on like autonomy, identity. I feel like that would be an interesting subject. Actually I might make a poll. See what you guys want to talk about. Be nice. Shook if you were shaken. I was quivering in my boots, I was. It's called just chatting. Well, discussing heavy themes, just chatting. Okay. Heavy chatting. Chatting while pulling weights. There we go. Trust me, if I had like full body VR or full body anything or full body tracking, which I plan to make a LiDAR system in future, once it's worth it, since I actually have access to that technology. I just don't want to invest unless it's gonna, you know. I don't earn anything on this channel yet. I'm not monetized yet, so it would be worth it. But if I had that, technology moving now, I would be doing those streams, but also I would be love to doing like exercise, like fitness and discussion streams, stuff like that. I'm tired. I don't care. I don't normally talk about this stuff, but yeah, I want to do a lot more than voice acting. I want to do video essays, but it's trying to get the confidence. Trying to turn this into a video instead of a live was absolutely terrifying to me. I don't know how people can sit there in front of a camera. This I get enough stage fright from now and then as it is, but yeah, no, camera was new. I'm definitely gonna have to try it again, because yeah, if I had time before I would have turned this into a video essay, but I feel like this is nicer. I was shaken up about it, and this definitely helps. Just distracting me from the fact that I can be seen and heard, yada yada. Alright, with that, with Angie sleeping sleep, I will have to bid you all adieu. Thank you all. Have a wonderful night or day, and I will see you all later. Bye. Where the hell is... Bye. Boop. 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 See yous.